Okay, so I did a little video about the It Works promotion. I just signed up to be a distributor for It Works, and so I wanted to make a little video with my why. And I could have typed it out, but then I figured you would scroll right past it. Better chance of you actually clicking it and listen to me talk. So it's kind of a little emotional for me, so I'm sorry if I get a little teary-eyed. I'm going to try my best to not get all snotty in front of everybody, but I am starting out my It Works journey. Like I've said in the video before, I am a skeptic about things. I've tried things before and wasn't like a huge fan of them, and then, you know, it was a big thing. And then as far as money goes, I am a tightwad. I don't like to spend money on anything at all that is like outside of what we normally spend money on. I mean, if it's our kids, I can spend money all day long, but if it's stuff for me, it is the last thing that I do or invest in. It's not what I do. And so I have been watching the It Works people blow up my news feed for the past few years. And I've been interested at times. They've made posts that's made me stop and say, oh wait, yeah, you know, and then I'll go to their page, you know, I'll ask them questions and I'll go click on their page and I'll look at all the information. And then when it comes down to spending the money on myself, I'm like, I just can't do it. Like, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to spend this money right now. Well, and then if you want to know the great promotion they're running right now where you only have to spend $10, then you can watch my other video. But this video is going to be why I decided to finally take the leap. Not just the $10 thing, but it didn't hurt. Anyway, so I'm going to go back a little bit in time. In 2015, me and my husband announced to the world in May of 2015 that we were expecting our third and final child. And we were super excited about it. I had been told earlier in the year, due to some health problems, that I was going to need a hysterectomy and that I would not be able to have any more children. And I actually went to the hospital to have that hysterectomy done in February of 2015 and chickened out. Like, well, I wouldn't say chickened out. I prayed about it, and my biggest thing was my husband was so adamant after hearing all the things the doctor had to say and me being hospitalized and stuff from some complications. He was so adamant about me having that surgery. And I was like, I'm 20, I think at that time I was 27 years old. Sorry, I have no idea how old I am. I can tell you about my kids' information. I have to keep asking people. So, or count backwards from my husband's age. It's really tragic. So anyway, but I showed up to the hospital to have that surgery, and I had been praying, you know, and telling God that if it was meant for me to have another baby, that, you know, my husband was not going to be on board with me. And so I needed him to, sorry, I had a hiccup, change his mind. And we went to the hospital, we got there, where I got prepped and everything, and all of a sudden he looked at me and he said, let's talk to the doctor and see, you know, if there's another way. And so we talked to the doctor. I still went into the surgery not knowing whether or not I was going to come out with the hysterectomy, or if they were going to, you know, pull off some kind of modern miracle. And you know, but I was leaving it in God's hands, and, you know, we're just completely trusting that whatever decision was made was the right one. And I came out of that surgery, and I didn't have to have the hysterectomy, and it was great and everything. Well, back to May of 2015, I got pregnant, and we were overjoyed. We told our children, we told our family, we shared it with the Facebook world, Instagram. We were just thrilled. For me, it was more than just, it was more like it was so good for my faith. It was so good for so many things for me, because I knew going to the hospital that I had this strong feeling that I just was not ready to go through with that surgery, and I had this desire to have another baby, and it was wonderful to get that pregnancy test and see that I was, carrying a child and that I wouldn't have had if I, would have went through with it. Well, almost immediately things were off with that pregnancy. My numbers had were like through the roof. I mean, like when it was supposed to be like 10,000, it was like 50,000 and climbing like that. And so, which that could indicate multiples, but that could also indicate like bigger problems. And so, they did an ultrasound and we couldn't find the baby on the ultrasound. It was a big thing. And then I started having lots of pain, and I couldn't even sit down in my husband's truck, like sit back or lay down in my bed or anything. It was, sorry if this is shaking. It was terrible. And so I ended up going to the hospital, and they could see that I had a cluster of something on my ovary, and they were pretty sure it was the pregnancy, and I had to make the decision whether or not I was going to let them go in and look or just continue on. Well, my health got worse, where I put it off until the very last minute. I decided I wasn't going to let them go in. I wasn't going to let them do anything. I needed to wait and see. And ended up being that my husband had to rush me to the hospital in the middle of the night. And they admitted me, and they gave me some medicine. And, we kind of went from there. I ended up having to have 3 surgeries, and it was bad. My health was really bad from it. I can tell you, I almost didn't walk out of that hospital. I had several blood transfusions. It took them, I think it was 3 surgeries in total before they were able to just dissolve it and know that it was not in the right place. And so it was hard. They sent me home. I was on bed rest for about 6 to 8 weeks. I can't exactly remember. I had family members come in to stay with me. My husband couldn't take off work. People were helping take care of my kids, and I went into the biggest depression. I guess it was like a postpartum type depression because my hormones had shifted so quickly, but also just, because I was 28 and I felt so sick and I couldn't do anything and I couldn't take care of my kids, or like I said, 27. I'm not real sure how old I was. And so, anyway, it was terrible. And so that continued on, and for the next, several months from June until October, it was just, my health was in and out. I would have all these pains and things, and I was sick and no energy and just felt horrible. So, in October, I found out that we were pregnant for our baby, our little man right here. And I was thrilled to be pregnant again, but I was scared to death. It was terrifying for me. I can't even explain it. And so they immediately put me on bed rest. They didn't want me doing anything until they could confirm with the ultrasound that he was where he needed to be. And so that took them about 8 weeks before he even showed up. And I was terrified. I never had that with any of my other pregnancies. I saw both of my other 2 at like 5 weeks on the ultrasound. And so I had that. Well, then not long after we confirmed the ultrasound, they cleared me to get up and move around and act like a normal person. And I was still trying to build up my strength. I was very sick. I mean, you have to realize that I started getting sick in January of 2015, and then all the way up until October, and then November I was in bed, and here it is December, and I'm just weak. And they let me off bed rest. I'm trying to do my best to deal with the kids and be pregnant and all the other stuff that comes along with it, and I was very sick. Well, not long after that, I started having some bleeding and everything, and they put me back on bed rest. And this went on throughout my entire pregnancy for him. And I delivered a healthy, beautiful baby boy, and very thankful for that. But not long after I delivered him, we decided that it was time for me to have the hysterectomy. I could not go through another pregnancy like that. My body couldn't take it. And I was still very sick. So when he was 2 months old, I had my hysterectomy, and I was hopeful. People told me that I was going to feel like a brand new person, that I was going to come out of that and it was just going to be wonderful and, you know, rainbows and unicorns. And I had the surgery in September, and I came out of surgery, and the first day I felt like $1,000,000, and then the second day I felt like death. And I thought it was just part of the healing process. We got through all that, and I was sick. I was staying sick. I was throwing up. I was in extreme pain. I couldn't move out of the bed. I would call the doctor, telling them I have all this stuff going on. What's wrong with me? I'm hurting. And so they, you know, he kept seeing me in his office, kept trying to figure out. They did scans on me. They ran tests, and they couldn't see anything. And so I was like, really? Like, I don't know what's happening. Well, ended up they decided to go in and do another surgery, just to do a laparoscopic surgery to look inside and see if there was maybe something that they couldn't see on the regular test. And so they did that. They went in and they looked, and they found that my colon was actually bent and like stuck to the side of my abdomen, and it was dying. And they couldn't see that in any kind of test that they ran, and they didn't know why it was happening. So they fixed that. They you know, they patched everything up. They did what they could. I came home, and I had about 2 weeks of just like, you know, was feeling down because my body had just had another surgery. And then I felt good for about a week, and then I got sick again. And one thing that I can say about, you know, it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter if you've gone through something like I went through. If you have something like endometriosis or arthritis or maybe fibromyalgia or lupus or, you know, any of those things, you know that it is very hard on you. It is very hard to look healthy on the outside, but to feel like you're dying on the inside, and to be sick and be young, and, you know, and trying to be a mom and trying to be a friend and trying to, you know, be all the things that people want you to be. And then for me, I was in and out of depression. I would pray and I would be like, God, please help me. And I mean, I couldn't shake it. I was tired of being in the house. I was tired of all of it. And it was hard. It was super hard. And so, you know, I ended up going to the doctor, having all these tests ran, got diagnosed with diverticulitis, with, they told me I have rheumatoid arthritis, you know, just, I mean, I've been diagnosed with so many things, it's not even funny. And so, you know, it has been a rough few years for me. And, you know, that if I showed you the amount of medication they have prescribed me and wanted me to take, and I hate taking medicines. I hate it. And so my journey is beginning now. I have seen the results from real people that I know. I have seen what, you know, what they've done with their body, with their mind, with their financial status. I've seen it all, and I am so excited to start. I can't wait to see what kind of in what kind of way my body responds and everything to these products. I can't wait to try them and show them and share all of my thoughts with you. And if you're going through something like this, if you have, you know, something that's keeping you sick all the time, or, you know, anything like that, join me. Let's do this together. Let's clean our body out, and let's see what these products can do for us and how they can help us, and let's reach people and build a business together. That's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about that. I want to be able to talk to people. I want to be able to tell the same story, and I want to be able to tell them, give them the update that says, hey, look, my friends did it and I saw it happen for them, but I didn't just sit back. I tried it myself. It is wonderful. It has worked wonders. It has done what it said it's going to do, and that's it. That's my story. That's my why. And I hope it wasn't too incredibly boring for you to listen to, but this is day 1 or day 2 now, and so I hope that you join me. I hope that you get excited. I have a great upline of people that, you know, I mean, I know that maybe sometimes when you're like, okay, I want to do this, but this girl just started out. I'm not starting out with her. But it's not just me. I have got a great team above me. So if you join with me, you're joining with them. And they've got great tips They've got great success stories. They've got all types of material and things for you that you can use at your disposal to help you build your business, to help you be successful, to show you what the products are. And, you know, we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. And I'm excited. And so if you have any questions, just send me a message and we'll talk about it. And I hope this has helped you.